I got it. So I'm really happy that I did get the Super Nintendo Classic, and I thought we'd check it out a little bit here. Within reason, the stuff I guess I can show without Nintendo going crazy on the channel, which is mostly non-Nintendo games, and that's the way it goes. Anyway, I was really happy when I turned this on because it looks so clean on my LCD. I'm using an actual larger computer monitor to play this, and it looks so clean, and I'm so happy for that. But let's check out the Super Nintendo Classic in general here, and we'll play a couple of the games. We have a few here that I was really excited to see. Obviously, any of the, like, Zelda on there, Metroid, Mario World. I was really happy to see Mario RPG. That was one that I was kind of not sure if they would actually have that on there before they announced it. Most of us knew that this was the Super Nintendo Classic was coming, obviously. Mario Kart, Castlevania IV. I mean, all the games that were on the box we saw. I did already unlock Star Fox 2. I did that right away. Just played through the first stage of Star Fox. Then Star Fox 2 will unlock to you, and that's the big thing because it's a game that never came out here, which is really cool. Secret of Mana, I was really excited for Mega Man X, Kirby's Dream Course, Superstar, Final Fantasy III, which is a great game, by the way. If you've never played it, awesome game to play. So much time invested in it. Awesome, awesome game. EarthBound, which is, again, I'm impressed that made it because Nintendo likes to pretend like EarthBound, the series, doesn't exist sometimes. Although recently they've been more into it after bringing over the first one to the Wii. Oh, Wii U, I'm sorry. Donkey Kong Country, Contra 3, Yoshi's Island, they're back to Zelda. I like the punch-outs there, too. That's awesome. Now, you can do a couple things to it. Display, you can actually change everything up. I went with Pixel Perfect, just so it looks better, obviously, on the monitor I have and everything. You can also do 4:3, or even the nice scan line, the CRT filter. Frames can be changed up. I went with a very basic, this blue kind here. There's a bunch you can do. It just changes the border around it. I like the little wood grain one here, too. That one's pretty neat. With the Super Famicom look. Got the curtains, kind of the buildings there. I like that one too. That one's neat. I might put that one on, actually. Let's do that. And then, of course, we have our options where you can do a couple things. You can change up the demos, apparently. Screen burn-in reduction. And then, of course, you can reset the entire system like it was just out of the box. Maybe if you want to resell it, I guess. I don't know. Language can be changed. They actually support a bunch of language on here. Obviously went with English. Legal notices, and then manuals. The way the manuals work is you just basically use your camera and scan the QR code and it comes up, or you can just go on the website and check it out. Now, at the Walmart that I didn't get this from, which I'll go over even how I got it, the Walmart I went to had like this book that you could buy with it. I think it was all the manuals or something on it. It was like 20 bucks, but the place I went to, which was Target to buy this, didn't have them out for sale, so maybe they didn't get them. But I went to Target, okay, and Target is a big Target in the mall. There's a big mall near me, Christiana Mall, and Target's attached to it. And they had over 100 of these systems ready to sell. I actually walked in, didn't have to wait in line. This was at 8 a.m. this morning. I think they opened a little after that, or maybe they opened at 8 a.m. because I could just walk right in. No one was really there. They had a cart that was left that was full of them. So I think they had so many that they outsold the line, no problem, and then they just had some that they were selling. In fact, I bet you those ones are actually going to go on the shelves in their electronics section today because they still had about 30 or so left when I was there. So I walked up, they handed me one, and I just went right to the register, bought it. I was out in a couple minutes. Felt good. Felt like Nintendo actually shipped some of these things, unlike the NES Classic. So it looks like, to me anyway, they stuck to their word. Now, I'm going to jump into Mega Man X. I'm very familiar with X, obviously. And what's cool here, for example, I have a suspend point. You can press and hold Y, and what that'll do is that will actually drop it into a save data. So it'll just be saved there pretty much for good for now. But why don't we go in here and you see nice little background there with the buildings. It's pretty cool. And let's just play a quick round of Mega Man X. I'm very familiar with the game. The controller feels awesome, by the way. It's so close to the original. Like, it's so close. You can tell it's definitely Nintendo that made this. I love it. It has their branding on it and everything. It's not like a cheapo knockoff one. So happy with the controller feel. So let's jump through, I guess, this quick level here, and you can see just how it looks visually. This is, of course, being captured with the Elgato HD in 720p, and man, it feels great. Like, I don't feel any massive lag or anything. A lot of people, say they could feel lag with HDMI. Nah, it's fine. It looks great. Again, I'm using the Pixel Perfect one, which shrinks it slightly, but it looks better on my my monitor because of it. It doesn't look any stretched at all. Whereas I think the other one, the 4:3, might stretch a little bit because it's used to being on like a what is that? A CRT, for example. So let's just keep playing. Oh, nice, an extra guy. Sometimes you get lucky with those if you overpower them by a good bit. You always want to go to Chill Penguin first because that's where you get the boots. That'll let me dash, which helps me drastically. Whoa, that was a lot right there. Jeez. So let's go through this level real quick. And again, the sound is good. I haven't really noticed anything off too much with the sound or anything. Obviously, everything you see here is emulated, which when I take it apart, you will see they are using, I think, an all-winner R16 chip. Which is the same as the NES Classic, as again, we'll see in my teardown either later on today or tomorrow, and we'll compare the boards. It'll be kind of cool to see, but it's not, they didn't reinvent the wheel with this system at all, we'll say that. In fact, I should be able to fit the board into the NES Classic if I want to. So let's jump in here and get the boots, and then I'll probably check out another game or two also. I'm trying to think of what else I want to check out. Maybe Final Fantasy III there's not a lot to that game, obviously, when you first start it up. But let's keep working through here. I mean, there's so many. I think there's 21 games, right? I should have counted. I believe it's 21 games. I don't know if that counts Star Fox 2 or not, because it's technically not unlocked from the start. You have to beat the first level of Star Fox 1, which isn't bad. Although I think if you've never played it, it might take you a little longer to get used to everything. But I just pretty much turned on Star Fox, rolled right through it, and Star Fox 2 is unlocked. Which, by the way, Star Fox 1 runs fine on this. But it's definitely not like by today's standards, which we saw with reviews where people were like, it runs at a tiny frame rate and everything. And yeah, guys, it's a Super Nintendo essentially. Be amazed the Super Nintendo is rolling with those kind of visuals. Seriously, he just fell right down the hole. Oh man, be amazed at those visuals. Let's say that it's a Super Nintendo, guys. It's a 16-bit system with no extra nothing really added on other than the Super FX card in the cartridge. No 32X or anything added on to get visuals like that, which is amazing. So we'll take down Chill Penguin real quick, get his power. I would love to run through. It feels so good to play this with a Super Nintendo controller that was made by Nintendo, and I guess even technically play it on their system, even though it's an emulation box. It feels so good. Like, it's awesome to see this. Yeah, completely worth the money though. There was a lot of people with reviews and stuff talking about it. Yeah, completely worth the money. So it's not like a JIP or anything. You get a lot of value for your money, I will say that. I'm just gonna take Penguin down real quick. Almost had me that time. I'll give him that. See if we can destroy these quickly. Yeah. Go ahead, jump up there, see what happens. Oop. And yep, he's gonna jump up. And he just needs one more hit, which is right here. There we go. Didn't get hit, by the way. I've played a lot of Mega Man X in my time, as I've told you guys a lot. Chill Penguin is always the first one I go after, so he's become very easy. So that's a full level of Mega Man X. It's good. It's very good. This game's not super hard to emulate though, so it's not like reinventing the wheel, but it does play well and it looks great on your HDMI TV. Plug it in and you're off. That's it. So I love it. Let's jump over another one now. To do that, I do have to hit the reset button, and hopefully it doesn't mess. I didn't even think of that. Hopefully it doesn't mess with video capture. I have to hit the reset button, and it will now jump me back to. Now we're good. Back to the menu here, and you can see I have that suspend point there. And you basically can pick whatever save data you want it to go to. So I'll put it in number 2. You press and hold Y, or you just press Y. You have to hold Y if you want to erase a suspend point. So if we go back up here and go down, you can see I have both of these. So I like that a lot. It's pretty awesome. Secret of Mana, of course. Let's see. What's one that Nintendo won't get mad at me for playing on camera? Oh, man. That's the one thing I also noticed is the choice of games much more in terms of Nintendo games here than the NES Classic, where it seemed they licensed a lot of stuff out. I think they're actually making halfway decent money on this system because there's not as many licensed games. Let's see. I could go with Street Fighter. I could go with Castlevania IV. Let's go with Castlevania. Can't go wrong with Castlevania ever. There we go. Get the nice Konami symbol up. Love this game. This game is good. I didn't play it as much as any of the other ones, but the visuals in this game and it being like the culmination, I still think, of Castlevania games. Even though I know a lot of people like Symphony of the Night, obviously, this was like old school Castlevania. Like Symphony of the Night changed a lot. You know, it made it like a Metroidvania style. You know, that's what we call it. But it was like that. There was a map that you go through. You went up and down through the castle. Backtracked a lot. This was more the straight up. This is 2D Castlevania. You know, 16-bit graphics and everything. Let's do it. And I like that. I like that it's like that. I don't mind obviously the there we go. I don't mind the setup they had for Metroid, the Metroidvania style, like Symphony of the Night, but man, it's something about this one. It's just awesome. It had some of the best music. It's just a good setup. You could like do you move the chain around like that. Ah, man, this is so great. I haven't played this one in a while, but like the fact that you just fire up the Super Nintendo Classic and there it is, it's great. It's awesome. So worth $80. I gotta say, this is so worth the money. And like I said, you can just jump out whenever. So that's the other nice thing is, if you ever get to a point where you just gotta get out of, okay, sorry. If you gotta just leave, like if you gotta like go somewhere or something and you want to turn it off, you can hit that. Ooh, look at that slowdown! A little bit of slowdown there, crazy. You can just obviously hit the reset button and boom, you're good. Do the save point and everything. Oh man, this is awesome. So let's what do we want to jump over to next? Another game we want to jump over to and check out. I guess we could check out maybe the Final Fantasy game. You can do that. So let's hit okay. Let's hit reset real quick again. Boom, we're back. And we have this suspend point, which I'm just going to drop in there. And now I have a bunch of games that I'm working on, right? Let's see, we're working on Mega Man. I got 2 save files there. So like you and a couple people can have save points, which is awesome. Just don't overwrite each other's saves. Let's see. Here's Final Fantasy. We'll jump into Final Fantasy real quick. See how that looks. But man, so awesome. Final Fantasy 3 is a great RPG to play through. Crazy, right? Final Fantasy 3, Secret of Mana, EarthBound, Mario RPG, all on the same system. Oh, it's awesome. And they don't, obviously, I know what happens when you download ROMs, obviously consider piracy or whatever it is, but unless you own the cartridge. But in this case, you give $80 to Nintendo and you get all the games like legally and everything. And I know people are like, you can get a RetroPie. That's fine. I just like this because it's a nice piece to have in the collection, but you also obviously have all of these games straight up. It's awesome. This is what I was saying. It's going to be... There's a lot of cutscenes going on to get started. It's not a game you just start playing right away. But if you missed out on any of these games, especially Final Fantasy 3, go play it. Seriously, it's such a good game. Like I said, I'm kind of stuck in the cutscene part right now. Alright, so here we go. I'm actually moving ahead here in the beginning of Final Fantasy 3. In my little mech and everything. We'll get into battle and see how everything looks. Sounds good. Sounds reasonable. And let's see. We'll use Fire Beam. Magic Tech. Ice Beam on you. And yeah, she has everything. X-Fur, Tech Missile. That's not matter. He's pretty much done anyway. Here we go. Yep. Sounds good. Cool. Yeah, Final Fantasy 3 is good. It is a long playthrough. It's going to take a bit of time, but again, what's awesome is you don't have to worry about finding save points since you can just hit reset and make your own save point, which is awesome. So you can do it before boss battles, for example, and then it should have, I know they have rewind. So let me see how that works. I didn't really do much there, obviously, but if I reset, we should be able to go down here and we'll hit X and rewind. What's going on? Oh, look at that. Wow, that's cool. Check that out. So it like recorded everything and I can pick where I want to start back. Wow, that's amazing. That is something else. So I can like drop in right here, which is where I was before I started that part. And let me see. Start, I guess? Look at that, wow. That's awesome. So this is right before I did that fight that you saw where I was walking up. Because it's gonna go to like the mode 7 look real quick. Yep, and so I skipped this part by pressing start. And then I went into town here. They tell her to take point because they don't care since she's being like brainwashed. And then I got right into that battle that you just saw. That is really cool. I love that rewind feature. It's so neat. So if I hit suspend after losing in like Mega Man, I can just rewind back to right before I went into that boss room, for example, or even like I guess in this before I fought that boss or messed up. Maybe I accidentally hit a button that I didn't want to and picked an attack and it didn't work well. I can just go back. I wonder if that'll re-roll for crits and stuff too. Maybe if you want to try to get a critical hit on something, or maybe if you're like hitting a bunch of times and you missed too many times in like Final Fantasy. I wonder if you can rewind back before that attack and try again. That might break some of these games for people, but honestly, at this point, they're giving you so many and you're kind of buying as novelty. Who cares? It's there if you want it. It's not like these are multiplayer games online or something, so that is awesome. I love that feature. Yeah, guys, worth the money, definitely, if you can find one. Much easier to find this than the NES Classic, so Nintendo must have sent these out. Absolutely, like in droves. Check your local Target, though. I found out that my Target got so many. I have a feeling other big box Targets also got a bunch, or maybe even Best Buy. I don't know. I'm so happy with this system. It's so cool. And I'm going to be playing it a lot, actually, in my off time here and there, because there's a couple games I wanted to get caught back up on. I would love to play back through Final Fantasy III, just for fun. I'd love to play back through Mario RPG as well. So, thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.